Hello everyone and welcome back to the UK Koi channel. And today, the day I've finally been waiting for has come. And that is because today we're going to be finally moving Fred and the Yamabuki Ogon out back into the main pond that is outside. Now currently they're sitting in this indoor pond in the polytunnel and they've been living in here for the better part of about a year now. All due to do with the fact of the puncture that happened in the pond back in November. And I've had them sat in here simply because they're so much friendlier than the other fish, and it's just really nice to come in here, interact with them, have them eat from your hands, bite at your fingers, and it's really nice to come in here and interact with the fish. But it's got to the point now where they really need to get back outside so they can enjoy the larger water in that pond, as they have grown quite a bit. So the plan today is to move them back into the pond and just sort of have a good close-up look at them, which we haven't really done before on the channel. Now, fortunately, despite their size, they are incredibly easy fish to catch. So we'll get them up one by one, individually in a bowl. We'll take a look at them in closer detail, and then we'll place them back into the main pond. So let's not waste any time and catch up the fish. So let's just grab the net and the bucket so we can catch the fish. Now, the trick when catching fish of this size is to always keep them in the water, as it keeps them far less stressed. You simply want to guide them into the tub and cause as little stress as possible. So I just caught the first fish here, which is the Yamabuki Ogon. Let's take a look at it in closer detail. And here she is. Now, I'm going to make this short and sweet because I don't want to keep her in here for too long. But this is a female Yamabuki Ogon coming in at about 65-70 centimeters. Last time I measured her. Not too sure how long she is now, but she's about 3 years old. I had her about 1 year old from Buyer Koi Farm. I'll put up some footage of her now if I can find some of when I originally got her. But very beautiful fish. She's not very happy. We'll get her out here in a second. The only blemish on it would be on this scale here, a small black dot. But apart from that, a really nice all-round Ogon. Really friendly fish as well, have you seen? And a real personal favourite of mine. Really nice yellow on the body, really nice fins, no real deformities on her at all. Really beautiful fish all round. Very wide as well, a very wide fish. Very long in the body, but we'll get her around to the pond now. I'll acclimate her, but also I won't show you that, that's quite boring. And once I've got her acclimated, we can put her into the pond. We'll carry her over to the pond now. Now she's in the pond, we're going to take her around to the... Oh, let me excuse the wind 1 second. Okay, that's a lot better. The wind's been quite strong at the moment, so it's kind of hard to hear me. But as I was saying, now I've got her at the pond, I'm just going to drip acclimate her in. I don't have any bags that I can really fit her in, so drip acclimation is really the only option. But I won't bore you with showing you that, so once I've got her acclimated in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I'll get back to you so you can see her being released into the pond. You have to excuse the wind, but it's now been about 40 minutes since I started acclimating her. So we'll let her go into the pond now. Don't want to stress her out anymore. Off she goes. Beautiful fish. Back into the main pond with the rest of the others. Now it is simply a case of repeating this whole process with Fred. So I refilled the tub and got to work on catching Fred. Here I can show you sort of my tactic when catching the fish. You want to slowly move them towards the net and then put them near the tub and then guide them in, keeping them in the water at all times so the fish is less stressed as possible. I found this method makes the fish a lot more calm, as taking them out of the water can increase stress. And here we have Fred. Now Fred's probably the most staple fish on the channel. Once again, this fish is from Buyer Koi Farm. I actually picked it up at the same time as the Yamabuki Ogon. And, excuse the horse for 1 second. And this is probably one of the, not the nicest fish, and I'm not going to be completely honest with you, not the nicest fish at all. And realistically, I would have gotten rid of this fish if it weren't for the reason that he was so friendly like he is. Now I'm calling it a he, it is a she, but we gave it a male name for whatever reason. But I'm not going to waste any time, we're going to acclimate this fish and get him into the main pond. Now I'm going to acclimate the fish for the next 30-40 minutes and then we'll get it back into the pond. So it's been about 40 minutes, so let's go put him back into the pond. Excuse the wind again, but let's release him back into the pond. Off he goes. Probably the longest fish I own in terms of length, not exactly girth, but I'll let them sit for about an hour and then we'll come back and take a look at how they're doing. So it's been roughly about an hour since I added the fish in, so I'm going to grab some food now, take a walk over to the pond and see how they're doing. And here we are. Once again, do mind the wind. You can always see Fred here swimming around, and the Yamabuki Ogon, I'm not too sure where it is. It might be hiding. There you go. There she is right there, swimming across the top of the water. Very beautiful fish. One of my favourites, in fact. I've got a handful of food here, so let's see if they want to bite. Straight away, Fred's coming up to eat, which is a great sign. They've already settled in. This fish actually was also in with them originally, but I put it in quite early on. The Ogon hasn't come over yet, but as I've shown you, Fred is quite happy to be eating in the pond. Here's the Ogon now. Still a little bit startled at the moment. I reckon needing a few more hours, but I'm happy to see that they're all doing quite well. She comes now. Oh, scared her a bit there, but we'll leave them be now for a few more hours. And yeah, I'm glad to have finally put them back in the pond. It has taken me a few months, and it will be quite sad now I can't hand feed them as easily. I'll have to get quite low down to hand feed them, but that's no big issue. They'll do a lot better in there. That pond has about double the litres of water, so they can grow a lot bigger and do a lot better in there. But yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you'd enjoy. Make sure to leave a comment and like, and also subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.